Pradip Hotchandani, Head Research, Prudent Broking Services, is now joining us. Pradip, good afternoon. What do you make of the markets today, especially, the sort of decline that we saw today in the morning, and then it is completely bought into?
Good afternoon, Pankaj. In our last interaction, I had said that 7970, 7980 is the major hurdle area for Nifty. That is where the 50% retracement level of the entire 91, 19, 68, 25 fall is placed. So from there, we have largely seen a consolidation or a bit of correction kind of move. Now, talking about today's movement, even before the news of this Mauritius treaty came out, we were working with an immediate support of 7770 on Nifty on hourly charts. That is the minimum time frame chart we look at. So 7770 was the stop loss with the stop loss of which we were asking our clients to hold on to the long position, and incidentally today it made a low of 7780 in the morning. So I think still we are on a daily chart frame, we are making a higher top higher bottom formation. So till this formation is intact, I don't think there is any threat to the trend. But as I mentioned, on the higher side, 7970, 7980 is the major hurdle area which needs to be taken out for the fresh up move. But overall formation is still intact and we continue to be positive on Nifty. Just that we would like to cross, we would like to get this hurdle taken out before before making a fresh up move till about 8150, which will be our next target. But this current move is clearly within the larger up move, and after this kind of fall, we have clearly two levels in the mind. 76, 78 is on the lower side, and on the higher side 79, 70, 79, 80. So till these boundaries are intact, we are within that range. If this level is taken out 76, 78, then we would have broken the higher top higher bottom formation which we are in since the budget day. So till that is taken out, we are positive on Nifty. On the higher side, 79, 80 is the hurdle we are watching out.
Right, 7980, which means you still expect about 130 point upside. Would you like to buy for that now, or you would wait for a decline to come in and then probably go long?
See, on the very short-term time frame chart, that is hourly charts, we went long on that basis when 7800 was taken out on Monday. So since then we have been holding on to our long position, and as I mentioned, 7770, 7780 is the support we were working with. So till that is not taken out, we would be even comfortable taking fresh long positions. Our immediate target is 7980, 7990. So immediate support continues to be around 7770, 7780. If till that is breached, we would like to go long on Nifty, and we will continue to hold our long position which we have taken for the short term.
How would you look at Bank Nifty?
See, Bank Nifty too went very close to its 50% retracement level, which I mentioned for Nifty was placed around 7980. For Bank Nifty, that was placed around 17,150. It made a high of 17,030, and since then has been in a consolidation mode. Here also the higher top higher bottom formation on the daily chart is still very well intact. So here that important level would be 16,200, which is its previous bottom on the daily charts. Until that is violated, we are still in a uptrend. So there I would like to hold my positional longs with the stop loss of 16,200. On the higher side, as I mentioned, 17,150 is the level which is the 50% retracement level. If that is taken out, then we can talk about higher levels. So for Bank Nifty, relevant levels are 17,100 on the higher side, and on the lower side 16,200.
Right. Let's look at some names then. How would you look at Tata Motors? Very volatile, now going back to the day's lowest point, 9 rupees lower.
See, when this big up move was underway from the bottom of 265, we clearly mentioned that the next major target or hurdle area would be the top made in December, that is 427, 430. So clearly it made a high of 425 in current up move. So that is kind of a double top formation on a larger time scale. So 427, 430 is the major hurdle area. If that is taken out, then Tata Motor would have completed a higher top higher bottom formation on monthly charts, and then we would straight away look at targets of more than 600 in coming months. For the timing, I think it's still in the short term uptrend. On the daily chart, it's still trading above its 200 DMA, and that continues to be its important support on the way down, which is placed around 364. So I would like to hold on to my short-term long position with that stop loss. But as I mentioned, 430 is the major hurdle area above which its next big up move can materialize.
Right, Pradeep, just stay on with us. We're about 2.5 minutes remaining for closing. Markets are 36 points down. A good recovery from the day's lowest point. Of course, the day's low was when we started. Monsanto India is up 15%. Volumes at 3 lakh shares. It's better than, of course, what it generally does. DCM Shriram 7% higher. Z Entertainment, of course, the stock of the day 7.8% higher. Take Solution up about 6 odd percent. Lanco Infra up about 5.8. Sri Renuka up 5.8%. AB Nuvo closer to 900. Dish TV, I think after Z went up, Dish TV also did go up, so about 5% higher. Raj Industries up 4%. Mahindra Life up 4.5%. Dishman Pharma 4.3% higher. MRPL up 4%. Ramco Systems up 4.5%. SD Aluminium down 4%. Manpasand Beverages 536, 4% higher. Amtech Auto down 4%. Voltas back to the levels of 320. It's gone almost to the new high. I think the new high is 350 or so. DB Realty 4% decline. Alok Textile 5% higher. Shri Cements up 3.5%. Anand Raj down about 4%. PNB down 4%. Power Finance down about 3.8%. Central Bank down close to 4%. Radico Khaitan down about 3.5%. Inox Wind 4% down, 233, 234. Since results, it's really gone down. Wakrangi Limited, they declared numbers today. When the numbers came out, they were closer to 191 levels. Suntech Realty 3% decline. TV18 up about 3.5%. Bombay Rayon down close to 3%. Berger Paints down 3%. Welspun up about 3%. LG Equipment down about 2% or so. Rallied 3% higher. Chennai Petro down about 3%. Welspun down up 3%. Tamil Nadu Newspaper Limited up about 2%. Escorts Limited up close to about 3%. Century Textile, Century Plywood, sorry, it's a results reaction from yesterday, down 3%. Phoenix Mills down about 3%. Crisil up 3.5%. Union Bank 3% decline. Prism Cement up about 3.5%. Orient Cement up close to about 3%. NMDC down 3%. Techno Electric up about 2.8%. JMR Infra down close to about 12%. Most of these names that we are talking about have significantly recovered from their day's lowest point. Polaris Consultant down about 3%. Sun TV maybe on the back of Z Entertainment numbers closer to 370 odd levels. Vatek Wabak up about 2.6. Nocel up 2.3. IFP Industries down 2%. Bank of India down about 2.5%. That's the closing bell. Provisional closing on your screen. 36 points lower for the Nifty and about 171 lower for the Sensex. Let's start with top gainers, and clearly, Z Entertainment is the top gainer of the day. Right from the word go, never really looked weak. Axis Bank is another name. It's up 2%, closer to 500 rupees. Hindalco is the next one. Again, Hindalco is coming on the back of good results coming in from Novelis. Asian Paints towards the end came in as the fourth top gainer, but I think that would be the adjusted number. It went to the highs of 920. Bosch Limited declares numbers in the next few days or so, ahead of numbers closer to the 20,000 number mark. Maruti also did well today. It was up greater than about 1% or so, 1.25% to be precise, 3,892. Bharti was among the top losers. Bharti actually, when the news flow came, it came up quite well, but then 359. Tata Motors DVR among the top losers, 2.6% decline for Tata Motors DVR. Tata Motors also lower, and SBI also looking particularly weak. Idea Cellular was the next top loser. We were talking to Pradeep, he's still with us. Pradeep, any view on Bharti and Idea? I mean, these are names that went up during the day, but despite markets going nowhere, they could not sustain these gains.
See, Bharti has had a decent recovery over last a month or two from the bottom of around 282. Now after this rebound, it is placed at very crucial juncture. If you see on its monthly charts, 375, 380 is the previous top. So that is where it's finding tough to hold on to. Once that is taken out, then we can talk about fresh up move over there. So that continues to be important hurdle for Bharti. Idea on the other end was just a pullback rally. It's trading well below its 200 DMA, and it was just a pullback rally from oversold territory. It made a positive divergence couple of weeks back, and from there it has bounced back. Here I think it's on the medium term time scale, it's still in downtrend until it crosses 125 kind of region where its 34 week moving average is placed. I would like to play sell on rallies kind of strategy on idea. Relatively in telecom space, Tata Communication, though strictly not comparable to Bharti and Idea, if I have to bet on something in telecom space, Tata Communication has clearly distinctly a positive chart. It is trying to break out of a major trendline resistance on its monthly charts, so that would be my preferred bet in telecom space.
Right. As far as Tata Motors, what we were talking about, any other names in the auto pack? So a Hero has done well, a Bajaj has done well. Any view on these names?
See, in auto pack, Hero continues to be our preferred bet. As I mentioned last couple of interaction, it has broken out of its a couple of important resistance areas which were placed around in the vicinity of 2800. That is the region where it found resistance quite some time over last 1 year or so. So that continues to be our buy on dips kind of candidate. And I think 32.29, which was its erstwhile top, continues to be immediate target. And once that is taken out, we can talk about higher levels. Bajaj Auto is making interesting move. It is finding resistance around 2600 kind of level, and that it has done couple of times over past 2-3 months. Once that is taken out, clearly 2700 to 2800 kind of levels can materialize. So here this also continues to be a good bet in auto space. Escort is another thing which is moving strongly on its weekly charts. It has taken out its previous hurdle of 176. So I think Escort can give good returns in automobile space. So Bajaj, Hero and Escort will be our preferred bets in automobile space, and Tata Motors as and when 430 resistance is crossed, and we can see a big up move.
How would you look at Z Entertainment?
That continues to be strongest outperformer in media space, and today with today's up move, it has clearly decisively cleared its previous hurdles which were placed around 440 region. So clearly this would go as a big breakout on its weekly charts, and I would continue to be a buyer here. I think 470 480 kind of levels cannot be ruled out here over next couple of months.
Right, but you would still want to buy after the 7% move today, because after results we've generally seen in 1-2 days, this name makes a topping pattern as well.
No, I would even go ahead and buy even at current levels, and if only on any possible dip. As I mentioned, this move has come after a very long period of consolidation. If you look at it on a longer time frame, oscillators on daily as well as weekly charts are supporting well with this up move. They are going 1-to-1 with this up move. So clearly I would even be comfortable buying this stock from a say medium term perspective that I mentioned. Say couple of months, if I have a couple of months horizon, I clearly see targets of 480 490 kind of levels.
Within the same pack, it's owned by the same promoters. You think it's as strong as Z?
Sorry, which one?
Dish TV.
I think Dish TV after today's up move is placed around its 200 DMA. So I would like to see a crossover of this on a sustained basis, which is placed around 97, 98 kind of region. So once that is taken out, then Dish can again resume its uptrend. But I would like to see sustenance above this level. But on a larger time frame, Dish also looks promising, and the correction we saw from the top of 120 to the bottom of 65, I think that was just a healthy correction from the largest perspective. But as a matter of confirmation, I would like to see close above 97 for taking a fresh up move or taking a fresh view.
Right. Any view on Crompton and Greaves, 61 rupees? The history would be lower for charts, but would it be fair for you to comment?
Yeah, history is lower, but after the demerger, it touched a low of 40, and then on the daily charts, whatever data we have it made a high of 61. So on the daily time scale, it has established a higher bottom formation, and until this formation is violated, I would I would like to stay long. 56 is the previous bottom on the daily charts. So a little difficult to take a call on this little data, but whatever data we have, 56 should be the relevant stop loss for long position.
Right. TVS was among your top picks earlier, TVS Motors. It declared numbers, went down to the lows of 280 odd levels, now back to 300. Continuous strength visible?
Here I would see some more consolidation because it had a good run up, and on weekly charts it is clearly showing signs of it made a negative divergence when it made a highest high of 330 on closing basis on weekly charts. So I would expecting this correction and consolidation phase. I think a couple of more weeks of consolidation can come and then it can take out, but for the timing I don't see a major up move in very near term. It needs to consolidate around these levels for a couple of weeks.
Right. Some of the other names from the Nifty pack, probably which have either done well or, probably have done well earlier. So Axis Bank at about 497 from the lows of Feb of 360. It's now at about 500 rupees. Do you think there is more upside into this name?
Yes, clearly so, and more importantly, it consolidated around its 200 DMA and took out this level decisively a couple of days back. So here I would bet for another 10% kind of up move. Next big resistance is placed around 538, 540 kind of levels, where if you draw a trend line going back to 2015 tops. So that trend line, that is the next major target or a hurdle area, and that comes around 540. So that would be my next target, and clearly I would be a buyer here.
Right. As far as Aurobindo Pharma is concerned, 820 again, not much movement today.
So this among the frontline or large cap pharma space, this it is clearly showing better strength. Apart from Aurobindo, Biocon has been our top pick. Other pharma stocks are clearly sell on rallies. This stock is showing tremendous strength. I think here it is facing a resistance around 820 kind of level. So once that is taken out, then we can talk about higher levels of 890, 900 kind of levels. So clearly this is placed above its 200 DMA as well as 34 DMA. So that area 770 kind of area where these two averages are placed should be the stop loss, and once it takes out 820 kind of levels decisively, then 890, 900 kind of levels can materialize.
Right. Tata Steel at about 330 from the Nifty pack. How would you look? Again, quite strong, when you compare it to some of the global metal packs or what metal pack has done over here.
Yeah, and metal has been the pack where we have been quite bullish over last couple of months. Now Tata Steel, after a big up move, was placed at a crucial juncture, and we had mentioned that around 364, 370 kind of region, it has got its 34 month moving average. So that we were expecting some sort of consolidation, because considering the hefty run up and this kind of important resistance levels were placed. But overall perspective, we continue to be bullish on metal pack. I think some more consolidation and then it would be ready for fresh up move. But as I mentioned, next big hurdle to watch out is 365, 370 kind of level. Once that is taken out, then we can talk about 430 kind of levels. But clearly from a longer term perspective, it continues to be buy on dips kind of stock.
Right. Buy on dips. What is the level that you would look to buy this name?
See, from on the larger time scale, that is on weekly charts, 20-week moving average, which is placed around 290, 300 kind of level. So any dip towards those levels would be very good levels to get into the stock again.
Right. A similar view for Hindalco as well.
Yeah, similar view for Hindalco. It had got a very strong resistance or supply trend line around 110, 112. So that was the resistance area. We were working with that target, but it couldn't quite achieve those target and fall back from 104. So I think 110, 112 is the resistance area. Once that is taken out, then 130 kind of levels can materialize. On the lower side, 200 DMA, which is placed around 82, 83 kind of levels, would be a very good support area to get into the stock again. So I think 82 or 83 on the lower side and 110 on the higher side are the kind of support and resistance level for Hindalco.
How would you look at India Bull Real Estate? Today was a pause, but in the last 7-8 days, it has done very, very well.
So this is the first stock which broke out on its weekly charts among real estate pack, and we were clearly indicating that a lot of real estate stock after their run up are placed on their weekly resistance chart, weekly on resistance on weekly charts, and this was the first stock to take out those hurdle areas when it crossed 65 66 kind of levels. Since then we have been working with target of around 88, that if you draw trend line adjoining its tops made in 2011 and then 2014, that trend line is placed around 88, and that is the target we have been working with. So that would be the next area where it would find hurdle, and that is 88 kind of level are the target we are working with.